All right. So let's talk about a new simple concept quickly, which is called parallel branch. With parallel branches, you can run two concurrent actions. So since we've been running our flows, we've been running linear flows, meaning flows were running sequentially, so one after the other. But if the next flow isn't dependent on the flow before it, there's no reason why they can run at the same time. And that's the purpose of parallel branches. So I'm using this flow for my example, which we created earlier on. So this flow collects an update message, right, from the inputs or the as the input, and then it sends that message via email, via Gmail, posts it on Teams, and then also adds it to a row in Excel. What we want to do, because once we receive that message and we send it via Gmail, there's nothing stopping us from sending this post or posting the message in the Teams chat directly at the same time when we're sending the message via Gmail. But there's really nothing stopping us from doing the three at the same time. But just let's do one parallel branch. Okay, so if we click on to set that up, if we click on the plus sign, we'll see an option to, if we right click, sorry. So if we right click on the plus sign, we see an option to add a parallel branch. If we click on that, we're just going to pick any action just to create the branch. So I'm just going to click data operation, right? Compose, good. I can always delete that. And then I'm going to drag this action to this place and delete the one that we've created just for the purpose of the branch. Okay, now as you can see, we've got one branch. Okay, why not create another one? So we're going to add another parallel branch and drag this Excel one. So we're just going to do the same thing just for the purpose, add one, and then we'll drag this back here. Now we can delete this. So now we've got two parallel branches. So now before the flow was sequential where one had to happen before the other. So it would have sent an email before it would send the post on Teams channel, and then before it needs to add the row to the Excel table. But because these three actions are actually not dependent on each other, they are only dependent on the trigger, then there's no reason why we can have them in parallel running at the same time. So we're going to save this and test this flow. And we're going to see what's going to happen. So we test this flow and do an automatic one with a recently used trigger. So that was 23 hours ago. Test that. No. And you can see the three of them have run at the same time, with the Teams one taking more time, but they all started at the same time. And if we check Gmail, we should have received an email meaning the flow ran correctly. Yeah, so that was the last one we did. If we check this, everything should have worked correctly. So that's just a simple demo or description or example for using parallel flow. Um, again, we've been covering the concepts. In the coming classes, we're going to actually work on real life use cases, and you see how all these concepts can come together to build a really functional Power Automate workflow. Thank you, and see you in the next class.